Welcome to Monday Mornings with Michelle, the new business podcast. Whether you're kicking off your day or kickstarting your business, Michelle is going to kick your ass into next week with the essential fours: strategy, systems, support, and state of mind. Now, welcome to center stage, Michelle Nedelec.
Hey there, peeps. This is Michelle Nedelec, and I am super glad that you're here with us today. I am here with an amazing guest, Alina Vincent. And Alina, thank you so much for being here today. I totally appreciate your time.
It's a pleasure.
Awesome. You guys are going to absolutely love Alina. I don't remember when the first time I met her was, but I feel like we were just best friends and knocked it out in the ballpark right away. And she is brilliant, amazing, funny, go-getter, action taker, just on fire. You're going to love her. So excellent. So Alina, give us a 5,000-foot view of who you are and how you got into what you do.
Ooh, do we have a couple of days?
Yes, we do.
Awesome. So I'm Alina Vincent. I am a business and technology strategist. I'm a founder of Business Success Edge. That's my company. And I'm also creator of a profitable online challenges formula. It's the same formula that took my business from zero to over $1 million in just 4 years. And our company focuses on helping passionate entrepreneurs scale and leverage their businesses. And we do it through helping them create digital online programs, through profitable 5-day challenges, and by creating engaging and active Facebook communities. I can tell you more about how I got here because it's definitely has been a kind of a windy road. I started my career in academic world thinking that that's all I'm going to do, get degree, teach, get another degree, teach. Eventually, I got the entrepreneur bug and decided to start my own business, started as a photography studio. Grew pretty fast, but realized that I got into pretty unscalable one-on-one business. So I needed to switch that. And that's where I made the shift to where I'm right now, supporting one-to-many and going online and helping a lot of people with their lead generation, with getting clients fast, with smart strategies that help them get wherever they want to go and scale.
Nice. And I know you have a bunch of degrees behind your name too, and all sorts of academia fun stuff. We may or may not get into that, but do want to delve into the whole entrepreneurial thing, and especially when it comes to scaling your business, obviously. So who would you say that you support right now? Who would your ideal clientele be?
Yeah, our ideal clients are business owners who are trying to get more leveraged online. So some of them they have successful brick and mortar businesses and they just now have to go online. Some people are people who have been in online business. So primarily coaches, consultants, authors, speakers, experts, and anybody who has knowledge and expertise that they know people need, and they're looking for a faster, better, easier way to share it with millions of people all over the world.
Nice. One of the things that I particularly like about what you do is that you make it so easy for somebody that doesn't have a freaking clue, maybe even about the whole online thing, let alone everything else. Because I know when I start talking about what we do and helping people, I know I start getting into a bunch of acronyms and things and words that people are going like, what's an affiliate? I don't get it. What's this stuff? And then when I start talking acronyms, well, then I'm just completely lost. But you will never find that with Alina. She's always bringing it back to speak English so that I can understand, so that even if somebody, to me, is say a tradesperson or somebody that runs a retail outlet, you can still translate that into a 5-day challenge and start bringing in lead generation. And to me, that's a super cool conversation because, people that are already online, they're going, yeah, okay, I get it. But have you, I'll throw you under the bus for a second. Have you ever had experience where you had somebody that was like totally green and didn't know what they were doing going into a 5-day challenge?
As a participant or as starting it and running it themselves?
Either way.
Yeah, of course. Actually, the interesting thing is when I first started teaching about challenges and running my own challenges, most people did not know what they were. I remember I was standing on stage in front of like 100 people and I asked them, who knows what online challenges are? And I think only 3 hands went up. So I remember I started doing challenges about 6 years ago, way before they were cool, way before they're this hottest, newest marketing trend and everybody's jumping on it right now. I remember when I had to explain like, okay, we're going to talk about online challenges. It doesn't mean about difficulties you're going to have online. We're going to talk about a really fun, engaging mini training. So that's what challenges are. And it's really interesting because I couldn't even name my program because right now the name of my program is Fast, Easy, and Profitable Online Challenges. However, back then, I couldn't just say online challenges because it
And an
immediately
easy, profitable online
yeah.
challenges. That's hilarious.
Yes, but I had to like explain, no, I'm not going to make your life more difficult by going online. So the answer is absolutely yes.
So that brings up a great point. Semantically, what is a 5-day challenge?
Oh, perfect. I love definitions. So that goes back to my academic background. Let's start with definitions. So how I defined a 5-day online challenge is it's a mini training where you take a group of people live. So it has the beginning and the end. So for 5 days, you are taking them all together. You're creating a community and you're helping them develop a new habit, form a new skill, or accomplish something. So it's a training that's live, that's active, that's super experiential, and where people actually experiencing a result at the end of the challenge. And there's lots of other ways of doing a challenge. You can do longer challenges, you can do 30-day challenges, 90-day challenges, you can do them paid or free. We can talk about all of the little details. There's also lots of people use it just as a lead generation, not as a live thing, but as evergreen. But what I find has the most impact, has the most transformation, gets your clients fast, is the 5-day live challenge format. So that's what I teach.
Nice. And I know I have always looked at you as the queen of challenges and thinking that you invented this thing and that this was completely your idea. And I'm like, God, you're brilliant. You are so freaking smart, man. I can't believe that. And then you kind of gave away your story when you said when you were a photographer, you used to do challenges. So tell us about that. And I think it'll give it a little context to how that all works.
Yeah, and sure. And most people have seen challenges, maybe even participated in challenges without thinking like, oh, I can apply it to the business world. So look, I'm sure people have seen those challenges that your gym puts out, like 30 days to flatter abs. That's a challenge, right? Or 7 days green smoothie detox. That's a challenge. Like the most famous challenge that kind of took internet by storm was the water bucket challenge for the Alzheimer's Association.
Right.
Everybody was dumping ice water on their heads and on the heads of all of their friends. So like the challenge is not like a new concept. We as humans, I think, always need to be challenged, always need to kind of stretch out of the comfort zone. I think like even back in a caveman day, somebody would say like, hey, I challenge you to run to that tree, not get eaten by a tiger. There's something in us as humans.
That was my family. we reincarnate a lot.
Yeah, but like the idea is like the idea for a challenge, like we need to have somebody challenge us for us to step up, for us to take that action, for us to and having accountability, having support, having a step-by-step guidance only helps that. So that's why I think challenges so awesome and they're so popular and they accomplish great, amazing results in just 5 days.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I never would have, like, I don't have that kind of a brain where I would have thought, oh, yeah, people dumping buckets of ice on each other's head. Let's apply that to business. I looked at and went, what a bunch of retards.
Well, so you asked me a question about like how I got started with challenges when I had my photography business. So we actually had these challenges that we've set up for ourselves. We were on a forum that wasn't even on Facebook. That was kind of before Facebook. But we would have groups of photographers who would get together and say, we're going to challenge ourselves, only shoot black and white this month. Or we're going to challenge to do like underwater photography. Or today we're going to do it in such and such style. And nobody was making money on it. Nobody was like trying to lead it. It was just like, let's get together and learn something, push ourselves and create something and feed off of each other's energy and each other. So it's such a fun, amazing way to learn new things and push yourself and try new things that when I got to my business and I was trying to figure out, oh my gosh, how am I going to gather many people together and teach them something? The whole idea of creating an online program was like, it feels like so many moving pieces. I didn't know where to start, even though I knew, but like everything completely flew out of my head. And I said, how about I create a training in a challenge format? So the very first training I've ever created in my business was this 21-day challenge on how to get clients from Facebook. And everything changed from that moment. So that got me known as an expert. People started getting results. I got my very first high-paying clients for one-on-one work with me, and people started telling me, like, let me know when you're running again. Let me know when you're offering this again. I started getting JV partners, talking about the acronym, right? Joint venture partners, saying like, oh, I heard that thing works really well. Can I promote you? So like it opened all of the doors for me. And I said, I'm going to do more of it. And over the years, I've tried different lengths. I've tried 10-day challenges, 7-day challenges, 5-day challenges, 30-day challenges. And what I've discovered, and by making a whole bunch of mistakes and learning a whole bunch from them, is that the 5-day life challenge format is absolutely best if you are new and you're trying to break into online world. If you don't have any following and you don't have JV partners right now, and if you want to get results fast using low cost, low tech methods, like there's nothing that can beat 5-day challenges.
Awesome. So for those of you who don't know what joint ventures are and affiliates and all that kind of fun stuff, in the online world, I find it particularly fascinating that you can get 100% commission salespeople who are rock stars at selling things, working for you 100% free, like no upfront cost, no upfront training, no upfront anything. You just give them your copy and off to the races they go, and they sell stuff for you on 100% commission. It is the most fabulous thing ever. So if you don't know about those, call in, let me know. We will make sure that you get some information on that, because it is a fantastic thing to have an affiliate product that you can use to appeal to people who are in the affiliate marketing world, and you set up what we call joint venture partners, and people sell your stuff for them. So just to, again, prove that all that fun stuff works, how much of your business do you think you've built on JVs and affiliates?
Oh, I don't know if I know it in terms of percentages, but I'm going to tell you this. The very first year that I started playing with JVing and playing in the whole JV world, I built my whole entire patio and waterfall in my backyard just
Nice.
from the affiliate commissions.
And for
So
those of you who don't know, she lives in Reno,
yeah,
Nevada, and her backyard is spectacular. Super envious and jealous.
and as far as like my business, with JV people supporting my business, just with it in perspective, we are about to go into a launch, and we have about 100 people signed up as our JV partners to promote my program and share it with their tribes, with their lists.
Nice. So there's 100 people that already have a following, that already know that they're going to be at least somewhat interested in your product and your service. And all you have to do is write a couple of emails for them and send some pictures and go, hey, market the crap out of
Well,
me.
but have a product that actually works and delivers
Yes.
results.
Fair enough. Yes. So let's talk about that. So how do we get that thing? Because I know a lot of people are going, okay, well, if I run a painting company, I run a roofing company, how the heck am I going to go online? How does this work? Well, trust me, it does work. You can get leads on Facebook, you can get leads on LinkedIn, you can get leads everywhere. And when they're fun and engaging, you get even more people. So tell us how you do that.
Well, so there's so many ways I can take this conversation. First of all, let me just give you an example. So you just said, let's say we have a painting company, right? You would think like, if we have this sort of very physical service, how can we go online and get potential clients? So in that case, because it's easier to come up with challenge ideas if you're just talking about the intellectual property. Because if you are already a coach, you can basically take anything you do, create a 5-step how-to process, and create a challenge around that. So some ideas, like it could be 5 days to find 5 JV partners challenge. It could be a challenge how to start a blog. It could be a challenge how to start a podcast. It could be a challenge how to write a book. It could be a challenge how to find your soulmate. It could be a challenge on how to create online dating profiles. So if your business is already based on information, it's pretty simple to come up with the ideas for the challenge. It's a little bit more difficult if you have offline business and now you're trying to go online and find leads. So again, without knowing anything about your business, in that case, if you're a local business, I would run a local challenge to kind of like make sure that people who are coming to your challenge are not international. Our goal is always like, how do we go to the whole planet? If you have a local business, maybe your chiropractor, maybe your painting company, you probably want to have, maybe I don't recommend running ads for your challenge. That's not the way we usually teach it. However, if you want to localize it, that's one of the ways you can make sure the majority of your leads come locally, is running local ads. But it would be ads, Google ads or Facebook ads specifically to this challenge. So you know every person in that challenge could be a potential partner. And then come up with what would be a fun thing. It could be 5 days designing the color scheme for your living room. It could be 5 days of figuring out the color scheme for your whole entire house, depending on what you're painting. It could be 5 days on just figuring out what, like some kind of an interior decoration challenge that then leads to like, now, would you like a company who would come in and paint you that same way? So kind of like having a fantasy house or fantasy room or fantasy home. And there's so many creative ideas you can come up with, depending on, we've had people who have dog grooming facilities running challenges. We've had hairdressers running challenges. We have people who sell physical products running challenges. It's a simple way to get started, and you really don't need to have, like, I can teach you how to do it in $10 or less as far as like anything that goes into creating a challenge itself. And we have a whole entire program called Fast, Easy, and Profitable Online Challenges, where we teach people step by step how to do it. And yeah.
Yes, and that's where I'm going to take you next, because I'm going, oh my God, those are awesome challenges. I want somebody to do those, because I would totally play in that. I get to play with colors, and I get to figure out things. It's awesome. What a brilliant idea. And what I absolutely love is, because obviously you've been doing this for 6 years now, and being able to figure out what doesn't work and what does work, you can tap into what does work just super fast. And like, that was awesome and brilliant. So if you're listening to this and you're challenged by the idea going, oh, that's not going to work. Oh, trust me, you got to talk to Alina first, because you will find the way to make it happen. And when it does, the clouds part, the angels sing, the sun shines down, and you're like, oh my God, why didn't I think of this earlier? It's because, well, you didn't have Alina's brain behind you. So get that working for you, because trust me, this is awesome. So, okay. So give us a little bit of the lay of the land as far as kind of how do people, I'm going to put the cart before the horse a little bit. So if people want to go and play with you, and then just like, okay, I know I want to do this, how do they kind of connect with you and get started in that whole world of like, they know they want to be part?
There's, of course, lots of different ways to get a hold of me. Probably the easiest way, and the way that allows you to experience some of our challenges as well, because I always believe in like testing it out as a participant before you trying to put something in front of your people, is go join our Facebook group called Business Owners Who Think Big. So you can just go to Facebook and type in Business Owners Who Think Big. And that's the group where I run all of my challenges in. This is where you can like get a hold of me, send me a private message, or just know what we have going on at a certain period of time. The other thing is, I actually have a really special resource that Michelle asked me to share with you. And that resource is called Challenge Checklist. So it's Profitable 5-Day Challenge Checklist. It's a resource that I use, like my team and I use when we create our challenges. And it has everything you need to know about what do you need to create before you run your challenge, during your challenge, and after your challenge. And Michelle will post a link to that. You can download that. And that will also add you to our list. So we will keep with the updates. We'll update you. We'll send you additional resources. And that's another way to kind of get a hold of us and be part of our world. So I can talk a little bit more about the challenge checklist if you want.
Yes. So for those of you listening to this on the podcast, maybe in your car, you don't have access, go to awarenessstrategies.com/blog, and we will have Alina's podcast posted there as well with the links on it. And we will attempt to get the links on as many landing pages everywhere where the podcast can be heard. But yeah, give us a kind of now break it down to, okay, what is it and how does it work and all that fun stuff.
Sure. Well, so inside of that challenge checklist, there's going to be a little bit of an explanation again, what a challenge is and how you can use it to grow your business. But the rest of it is basically all of the little elements, critical elements that you need to have as a part of your challenge in order for it to be profitable. Because not every challenge is created equally. There's lots of different formats floating around right now. And most of them, people do it and they go, okay, that was a lot of work. Or, oh, this was awesome, people engaged, but nobody bought anything. Because you do want to have, like, not just do it for the sake of doing it. You want to make sure that you are getting leads and you're getting clients out of it. Or we have people who go like, I did this challenge, I had so many people signed up and nobody participated. So there's all of the elements that contribute to people not just signing up for it, but also being engaged while you're running the challenge and then saying yes to the next offer that you have following up. So the checklist will have the details, the actual logistical elements you need to create, and also some ideas on how you can monetize it, what you need to create, and some of the things you need to be doing during the challenge. So I hope you grab it. I hope it gives you an idea. And this is a checklist. You can basically just give it to your team and say, create this for me, and you'll know all of the elements are present there.
That is awesome. And anybody that's in sales or ever been in sales, which I know is almost everybody listening to this, is you have to deal with this anomaly called a human being. Sometimes they participate the way you think they should, and most of the time they don't. But what I have noticed with your formula is that you take all of the guesswork out, and it is smooth, it is slick, you just make challenges sing, if you want to put it that way. But let's go back to, like I said, I was putting the cart before the horse, but tell us more about kind of working with you, because I know that you guys get the checklist and you'll go, yeah, this is awesome, and I'm going to fall flat on my face if I stop here. So I know you've got a further call to action somewhere in there to get them to participate more, because I really, really want you to understand how these work. Don't just go and download the PDF and then kind of forget about it. Take the next step and engage, because your next step into this whole foray, if you want to put it that way, to me is the fun of it. That's where all of a sudden the creativity starts coming in and people start to get it. And tell us a little bit more about that one. So the next step up.
The next step, do you mean like, tell me what you want me to tell.
No, what are you talking about? So you get the checklist, and then you have a course. Do you have something else that they can come do? So
depending on when you're listening to this podcast. If you're listening to this podcast and we are releasing it, then we're going to have a whole series of free trainings. We're going to have webinars. We're going to have some of our students sharing their results, and we are inviting people to join our program, because we run this program live once a year. So if you're listening to it and like right when it's released, you have all of those options. If you're listening to this sometime later, download the challenge checklist, and then we'll send you emails with how to take that next step. So I highly, highly recommend that you actually sign up for the program, obviously, because it's full of stuff that I have done wrong and explanations on how you can save yourself time, money, and headaches not repeating my mistakes. Because one of the things with challenges, they're deceptively simple. They are easy, they are fun, they can be super profitable. They generated millions of dollars for me in just the last couple of years. However, it's because I've done all of the things wrong, and now I teach people how to avoid all of those things, because they're so fast, because they're only 5 days. One quick little mistake or misstep can basically ruin all of your results. And there's a lot of things that are like, they're simple, they're easy. Once you get it, you get it. You can repeat and reuse that process as many times as you want. Like this year, we'll probably do 4 or 5 challenges in our business, maybe even more. I think we already have plans for 4, and I'm thinking of for 5, and then we'll probably do 6. So because they're just like irresistible and they're amazing. And on the other hand, there's a lot of there's teeny little minutia little details that you won't even think about until you've run it 2-3 times. And we get a lot of people coming and wanting to work with us after they have done a challenge or 2 and they didn't work. Like I would say at least half of our clients, they come and say, okay, so I've done these 5-day challenges and I didn't make any money. Or I've done this and I'm not sure where I made the mistake. And the top mistakes people make is obviously was the length of the challenge. As I said, I've tried it all of the different lengths for a free challenge. 5 days is the optimal ideal time. If you're doing something longer, I can tell you right away, you either have to charge for it, or you're just gonna exhaust people's attention, because people they cannot commit to that long for free. And you're gonna be exhausted, they're gonna be exhausted, and they will not wanna take that next step. The next mistake, and that's the biggest mistake ever, is people choose the wrong topic for their challenge. We deal with that all the time. And the biggest mistake is making your challenge topic too similar to the promise of the program or the offer you're trying to sell. So you, especially in the online world, in the expert world, if you're selling your knowledge and expertise, it's really tempting to say, I teach people how to do, let's say, affiliates. So I'm going to do a challenge on how to do affiliates. And what's going to happen is your people will say, good, now I know everything I need to know. I don't need to pay you for more of the same information. That is the number one mistake I see, that when people do it on their own, they make their challenges too similar to the promise of their offers, which means people get the band-aid and they don't think they need to solve the underlying cause and problem, and they don't know what they don't know. So that's probably the top thing you're going to get from working with me. And as Michelle said, we have a program. I also do VIP days to help people. Like, if you don't want to go through a program, just call me and we'll spend a whole entire day planning out your whole entire challenge, planning out your challenge-based launch, and we can like decipher everything for you and make sure that you have all of the right ideas. So when you're running a challenge, it works. But the biggest mistake and the one that messes up with people's challenges is choosing the wrong topic. And of course, there's other things, like when it comes to engagement, and when it comes to when you're making your offer, when it comes to how you lead people to the offer so they can't wait to say yes to whatever. They don't even know what's coming yet and they're already sold on it. So that's the magic of actually, because I've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs, maybe even thousands by now, running their challenges. So I know what works, what doesn't work. So you can't replace that expertise and experience. And yes, they could be fun. It seems like super simple to put a 5-day challenge together. And yet, if you want good results, I would highly recommend reach out to us and see how we can support you with that.
Absolutely. It's kind of like she makes it look so easy. You think, oh, I could totally do that. And then you go and fall flat in your face and think, no, that hurt.
Well, it reminds me of my kids when they started driving. They're like, well, I've seen you drive all my life. How hard can it be? You just get behind the wheel and you do this, right? And when they start driving, and yeah, that's a completely different story.
As every kid said ever.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then all of a sudden it's like, there's so much going on. I don't want the bells on the whistles. Which one's the brake? It's not a good question to ask.
Or they like turn over one shoulder and the whole car starts going that way.
Exactly.
It's the things where like it's deceptively simple. It's like, well, if my dad can drive a car and drink a soda and talk and do it with one hand, and like how hard can it be, right? And it's like, yeah, it's not until you actually start doing it and until it becomes a second nature.
Exactly. So what I have found was the 5 days go by like lickety split. It's like bam, gone. And so it's so important. It's like learning how to drive a race car, actually. Look at it, not even a car. That there's so much, I wouldn't even say there's so much prep time in it, because working with you and your ideas just pop and you make stuff happen. Working on it on my own and trying to make it happen took so long, but at least I understood how much actual preparation goes into, like, you want to think about this stuff before you act on it, but as soon as you act, bam, it's good. And that to me is the fun part, is you also condense that whole learning curve, planning curve, everything, and make it kind of neat little presentation in a bow. And like, and just so you guys know, working one-on-one with Alina is awesome. It is like watching a magician at work, and you're going, and I get a present at the end. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, your VIP time is money well spent. So I know we've gone over some of the stumbling blocks that somebody might be having right now, but what do you find people are thinking when they go, oh my God, I need you so badly right now?
Come and get me.
Well, what are they usually going through though when they're having that thought? How do they know that they're at that point that they need you?
Well, there's so many stumbling blocks. Like, I've shared some of that, but what I know that stops people from actually doing it is, number one, making sure that they get the right topic. I can't tell you how many people have come to me and say like, oh, I've been thinking about the right topic for my challenge for the last 3 or 6 months, and that's why I have not been out, because I want to make sure I get it right. And like in the first 10 minutes, we're like, okay, here's the topic, and they can go with that. So like, it just shortcuts everything so much. But other things is like, I don't know how much to include. I don't know if I'm including too much. I don't know if that's too big of a topic, if it's too broad of a topic, or if it has enough value. Will people stick to it? How am I going to engage? So there's so many, like, should I be running it on Facebook, or should I be running it on LinkedIn? Should I have a community? What if I want to do it evergreen? So there's so many little minutia questions that most of the time where people stop is because every single time we have a thought, we need to make a decision. Do I go left or right? Do I do it this way? Do I do it that way? What do I name it? Where do I post it? Do I need an opt-in page? Do I need an A/B opt-in page? So there's like Every single decision has to be
And
made.
half the people listening to that are going,
Like,
"Oh, what?"
and in reality, like if you work with us, we have an amazing community of people who have done challenges. Some of them have done like 5 challenges, 10 challenges. So even if you can ask me a question, you can ask any, like hundreds of other people who've been there before. So we have a really great knowledge base. We have a really great supportive community. So if you are in our program, you have 24/7 access, and people simply post and say, do I use this image or this image for promotion? Do you like this opt-in page or that opt-in page? Do you like this name or this name? If I did a challenge, would you rather have this topic or that topic? So all of those decisions, that's what stops most people from moving forward, because they overanalyze it, they overthink it, or they simply don't know how to make the decision because they want to get it right. And a lot of it is not about necessarily getting it right away. It's about testing, because you can come up with this topic, start promoting it. If nobody wants it, well, guess what? It probably was not a good topic. Some of it is that feedback loop. Some of it is market research. Some of it is deciding in something, in taking action. But it, of course, helps if you can get the right direction from the very beginning and knowing what some of the decisions that you have to make. So again, I would highly encourage, if you're interested in running your own 5-day challenge, the investment in our program will pay back like 10 times by the time you like I was just talking to one of my clients who just ran a challenge last week in the middle of the pandemic, and she works with mompreneurs. So she just did a challenge. She had over 1,000 people in that challenge. She just did her very first webinar. So far, I think they've made about over $15,000 just in basically 5 days. And she has and she still has an entire week to go before the card close. And we have people making anywhere from like 10, 20, 30,000 on their first challenge to people who've made over $250,000 on their very first challenge. So just don't think that just because it's 5 days or just because it's free, it's not going to result in great money right away, because the reason I call them profitable online challenges is because it gets your results really, really fast. And if you do it right, if you do the right engagement and the right leading people to the right bridge between your challenge and your offer, people will say yes. Like the results that we're getting from challenge-based launches versus traditional Jeff Walker based launches is that we get 3 times better conversions with if you have a challenge going on before you do your webinars or master classes or live streams.
Nice. That is fantastic. So for those of you who haven't caught on yet, if you would like to have a couple of 1,000 leads coming in 5 days, this is the way to do it. I can guarantee you. I don't know of any other way to get like the mass of leads in that quickly. Like, it's just unprecedented as far as I'm concerned. And I know you use them all the time because they work.
That's why we use them. Yes.
Go figure. Right. And when you make them profitable, yes, you can sell anything. And I know that there's also, you mentioned Jaffe is kind of a leader, if you want to put that in the lead generation world online. But I think it was him that referred to the launch echo.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, it's not just that you're making money off of the thing that you're selling after the launch. It's that you now have all of these people that were interested in what you're doing. And some of them, the timing is just not right. And some of them, they got to put things in place before they come and approach you. And you will still get people afterwards trailing into your business because they were having so much fun. They were so engaged. They know who you are. They like you. They trust you. And they want to do business with you at that point. It's like, why wouldn't you?
And so there's definitely any launch you do, anytime you create like a big engagement and something exciting, there's always going to be people who are not ready yet, but going to be ready for next time. And that's why doing challenges several times a year. It's like maybe this offer was not the right offer for them or was not at the right time. 2 months later, if you do a different challenge on a different topic and make a different offer, they might be ready for that, or they might be like, this is exactly what I've been looking for. And they already know you, they already like you, they already trust you. So it's a really warm audience. Another thing we see, which is super amazing, is everybody talks about like, oh, Facebook groups are dead, nobody's talking, nobody's participating, nobody's engaging. So the best way to revive an existing Facebook group or create a brand new one is by running a challenge. Because now, all of a sudden, we have these hundreds or thousands of people who just bonded, who just got creative together. They were all supportive. They were all loving. They were all like, yay, let's do this together. And we have that I wouldn't call it a launch echo, but we have like the Facebook group echo that goes on for another month or two. So the engagement goes through the roof. We have like over 1,000% increase in engagement inside of our Facebook group while we're running a challenge. And it doesn't go to zero. It goes and stays up at about 300-400% for another month or two. So if you ever thought of like, how do I revive my Facebook group? How do I get leads from my Facebook group to my list? How do I monetize my Facebook community? You do it all by running 5-day challenges. So it's kind of the answer to everything. The only thing it doesn't do is doesn't walk your dog. But other than that, it creates
unless, of course, you had a 5-day dog walking challenge,
of course.
in which case it might actually.
Yes, of course. But it's the best way to get fast leads, to position yourself as an expert, to kind of take the world by storm and like make the statement like, here I am, here's what I'm doing. In the next 5 days, I'm going to share tons of value. You have all of these loyal followers who now will follow you and will probably invest with you, if not now, then in the future. And you're getting clients really, really fast in just days. I don't know any other method that compares to the level of engagement you can get, because so when I talk about engagement, I talk about 3 levels of engagement. So in order for people to say yes to you and your offers, they have to engage with you, they have to engage with your content, and they need to engage with each other. If you can reach all of those 3 things, you're golden. And the only thing that comes even close is doing live events. And as we know right now, live events it's a thing of the past. We cannot like all gather. And by live event, I mean actually gathering together in person. Because when people gather together in person, they interact with you, obviously, because you're there leading the event. They interact with your content because they're learning and implementing, and they're interacting with each other. And this is where the magic happens. There's nothing online that that equals to that. Let's say you talk about podcasts, they're engaging with your content only. There's no engagement with you, and there's no engagement with each other. Nobody else knows who's listening to this podcast unless you have
make comments below.
Yeah, make comments below. But it's not the same level of
It's not
engagement,
the
right?
same at all.
If people
No.
are doing webinar, they're engaging with you maybe if you're making it interactive and asking them questions. They're engaging with your content. Again, they're not necessarily engaging with each other. And challenge has all 3 of those pieces. It's you, your content, and the community element. So that's why they are right now outperforming all of the other marketing methods.
Nice. So for those of you who haven't caught on yet, and this is my biggest pet peeve in marketing, is people that do tactical marketing. It's like, oh, I just need to post on Facebook every week. It's like, no, you don't. Oh, no, well, if I do it 3 times a week, then I'll get more audience following me. No, you won't. People don't give a shit about your posts. They don't care about your cat playing the piano. They don't care. They may watch, they may engage, but it doesn't really mean anything. And it's one of the biggest colossal wastes of money in my own mind is throwing money at Google AdWords or things that don't actually engage or get your audience members there. There are ways of doing it that can be done, and this is by far the best. So if you haven't caught on to that, if you're spending even if it's like $500 a month on Facebook ads, or you're spending $2,000 or more on your marketing, you have to look at re-strategizing, because taking into account this method in your strategy, I guarantee will get you more leads faster that convert better.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough?
And I actually want to point out the last thing you said, that convert better. There's a little bit of this, I think, notion that if you do free stuff, you're only going to attract freebie seekers. And the beautiful thing about challenges is instead of attracting freebie seekers, yes, it is free, but it's nothing like an ebook, nothing like a report. Because what do we do with the ebook? Like, it's a bad word at this point, right? We download it, we keep it on our hard drive. It might make us feel good, like we've taken an action, and we never look at it again. We're definitely not going to implement based on the ebook. It just doesn't happen. So instead of attracting freebie seekers, when you're running a 5-day challenge, you're actually attracting action takers, because the only people that will commit to 5 days, and yes, it's a very short time, it goes really fast, but it's still a commitment of 5 days, even though it's only minutes a day, even though they maybe only spend 15-20 minutes a day on your challenge, it's still a commitment. So the only people that will sign up are people who are ready to take action now, and people who want to make changes right now and want to see the results, which means you're attracting immediately your best buyers. So it's one of the best qualifiers that I've seen in terms of what kind of people you're bringing through your challenge. So for people who actually complete all 5 days, they are your ideal customers, because that means they loved you, they listened to you, they took action, and they still want to hear more from you. So it's like taking this really awesome, like a whatever that thing is that sifts through things. Sifter. Let's just call it a sifter. And like, how do we select your perfect, ideal paying clients? They're the ones who are going to stick with you through the 5 days. And then whatever offer you make to them, you know it's going to be perfectly aligned. And you know those are the people who are ready to say yes. So it's just like, I don't know any other qualification process that will give you like your best 5-star qualified clients or potential clients on the planet.
Nice. And I got to tell you, people, no matter what business you run, you can do a 5-day challenge. I guarantee it, bar none. So go and download the checklist. So give us again your website and whatnot.
Sure.
I'll give them an affiliate link if there's an affiliate link, but if there isn't, I don't want to stop them. I want them to go straight over to you. So
yeah, there's definitely an affiliate link. If you want to just go find it, it's businesssuccessedge.com. So you have to spell it. There's lots of S's. businesssuccessedge.com/challenge checklist, and you'll find it. Or click on Michelle's link so she can direct you there, so you don't have to type it all in. And this challenge checklist, it has all of the essential logistical elements that you need to create in order to run your profitable challenge. It will say you need like an opt-in page, and you need a thank you page, and you also need to have a wait page, and you also need to have these like 5 daily topics. So it will tell you things you're probably not thinking about right now that you need in order to run challenge. Everything you need to create before, during, and after.
awesome. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I got one more question for you. So
Sure.
at what point did you know in your life that you were that special kind of crazy that you wanted to become a successful entrepreneur?
I'm still not sure if I'm there yet. I still think it's like it's a weird dream. It's interesting because I did not want to create a business necessarily to be an entrepreneur. My first business, the photography business that I started, I created it because I didn't want to have a boss. I didn't want to tell somebody to tell me how much I can make. And we were coming off of 2008 recession, and I was working at a state university. We were in a salary freeze. We were getting furloughed, and I'm like, I'm getting paid less and less, and I have to do work of more and more people. And that was kind of like, so for me, it wasn't like, oh, I have this entrepreneurial dream, I want to help the world. It was just like, I'm fed up with the situation. I want to have more freedom and control, and I want to be more creative. I want to teach what I want to teach. I want to do what I want to do. And I don't want anybody putting a price ticket on me on what I can make. So that was my top thing. And then I was like, whoa, this worked. Wow, that worked too. And it's still like, wow, I don't know how I got here, but I'm really happy to be here where I am right now.
That is awesome. And I know that no rebel has ever said, I don't have a direction that I want to go. I have no clue. All I know is I don't want to be here anymore.
Yes.
And
And there
stop the
are some
planet. I want
people
to get
who, yeah, there's some people who wait, who, like at 3 years old, are like, I only want to have I'm an entrepreneur. Here's my lemonade stand, and here's your upsell. Here's what you like, a chocolate bar. Like, no, I grew up in a family of like 3 generations of academic professors. So I thought my life was basically planned out for me. Just go to school, teach, get more degrees, teach them more, and that's where you stay. So this is still kind of a little bit shocking to find myself where I am right now.
Oh yeah, that you can actually make money without anybody telling you what to do.
Yes.
And you get to go and talk with me and have fun.
I do.
That is awesome. So any last parting words for our peeps out there and advice from Alina?
Yeah. If you've been listening to this and you're still listening to it, I hope that means you are interested in 5-day challenges. I would say, like, doesn't matter what you go on through your head right now. It's like, I don't have a list, and I haven't been online, or I'm new to this, and I didn't understand half of the words you just said. Wherever you are, or you don't think that you're going to get hundreds of people, we have people who run challenges with like 20 people, 50 people, and still make thousands of dollars with their challenges. They are a really amazing marketing trend that is here to stay. People want the engagement, people want the community, people want to be challenged. They want to also be laser focused and get those very specific directed actions. wins, and people want to experience wins. So how can you get them together in this fun, amazing, engaging environment, teach them something, and make them your loyal fans for life? And maybe they'll be saying yes to you right away after just 5 days. So the bottom line is do it, try it, and if you would like my support, reach out to me so I can make sure that your very first challenge becomes super successful and profitable.
Nice. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. And so peeps, again, the links will be posted somewhere around this, left, right, bottom, top, don't know, but go and check it out. Go to awarenessstrategies.com/blog and look up Alina, and you can see her name, Alina, and you'll find the information to go and check it out. So absolutely do. It is Marketing Brilliance 101. If you don't do it, well, go get a job. So this is Michelle Nedelec. Thank you for being here with us. If you know anyone who would make a great guest for the show or have a question or topic that you'd like me to discuss, reach out to me at michelle@awarenessstrategies.com or connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks, Alina. You were awesome. Love you.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
My pleasure. Bye. Thank you for listening to our show. I am all about being a resource center for entrepreneurs to give them the information and the support they need to make it in business. As such, I have Taking Your Business Digital Q&A every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Mountain. To register for that, go to awarenessstrategies.com/digital. That's DIGITAL. I look forward to meeting you and actually finding out how you are. So see you on the flip side.